What is going on, people inside that internet machine? Welcome to this episode of the Pickups. Garage sale season has finally begun. All right, I hope everybody's having an awesome garage sale season so far. It's been crazy around my house. We've had some personal stuff going on, and we're finally starting to get kind of clear of that. And then we had I had a week-long training that was like 8 to 5 every day. It was like 45 minutes away, so it's already another hour and a half of driving. It was crazy town. But this week, finally got to go to some garage sales. Went over to a community sale. Picked up mostly clothes, some vintage DKNY, some Ocean Pacific swimwear, not swimwear, but they're shorts, or like denim shorts, vintage. So we didn't really get a lot of video game stuff. I did pick up a copy of Minecraft on the PlayStation 4 for $5. This was at one random yard sale like a couple weeks ago, but that's really the only video game thing that I picked up. But let me tell you about this sale over at I think it's Price or Prince. I forget the name of the road. And so advertised community sale 8 to 5 Friday and Saturday, right? All these homes. And we get there and it's like the first lady, I'm like, "Can I early bird?" She's like, "Yeah, come on up." So I come out, didn't see anything. The next lady was like a street over. She's like, "No, we made a pact on our street. Nobody gets in early, no early birds." I'm like, "Really? Okay." So driving around, and like I said, found some clothing stuff, found some anime hats for my daughter, and a Sony CD cassette player thing. But other than that, it was pretty much a bust until I stopped by the last two sales, and she asked about if I wanted an Atari or something. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll take a look at it." She had a tote with this Atari Junior in it, a handful of games, controller. I said, "How much do you want for this?" She was like, "Oh, my husband wants $250 for it." Okay. Right next to it on the porch, I saw GameCube. And it was a console. It was an indigo, a black, and an orange controller. It was a stack of games, maybe like a dozen or so. Best game was Pokemon Coliseum, but the rest of the games were like Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like that level of game. So I'm like, "Oh, how much do you want for this?" And she's like, "Oh, that's spoken for. Some guy's going to come get it at lunchtime." And I said, "Oh, okay. How much were you asking for it?" She's like, $140. I'm like, "Oh, did he pay already?" She's like, "No." I'm like, I can PayPal you $150 right now. She's like, "Oh no, we promised it to him," and da-da-da. So I left my name and number. Never called me back. But yeah, I mean, I will definitely try and snipe a lot if you don't pay for it. Like, you're going to garage sales, take some cash with you. You know what I mean? Find a way to pay for stuff. So I almost double pumped on it and said, "Would you take 160, to try and entice her?" But I think people are real weird about confrontation. So if I paid her $150 and this guy ends up showing up, all she has to say is, "Hey, sorry, I wish I would have gotten your number. Somebody offered me more. We took that offer. So, thank you for your interest." That's all she has to say. But, some people just don't like confrontation. But, okay, so yeah, so we picked up some movies. I know this isn't everybody's thing, but I got Do the Right Thing sealed. So I'll throw that up on the eBay store. Killing Affair with Peter Weller, man. RoboCop did more movies than RoboCop, so that's one of them. Tarantino 3-pack, Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, and Jackie Brown. I love Jackie Brown. I just watched it before I started filming this video. And, yeah, Pam Grier, man. Perfection. And then, of course, Top Gun on Blu-ray, which was amazing. So let's see, where do we want to start? All right, let's start here. So I was at Flea Market on Main, and their games are usually pretty high priced. I mean, they're for what they are. The discs are all messed up in the cases. But they had Need for Speed Undercover on PlayStation 2, a game that I don't believe I have. I may have this on PS3. And it was only $1. So I don't know why it was $1 other than the disc is not in great shape. But none of their discs are in great shape. So you figure they're going to give me a discount for that, but it is what it is. This is pretty sick. They have 2 bins of they're like baskets of controllers in their collector's case. And I'm always like, "Hey, can I look at that?" And sure. Guess what? I was looking at some 360 controllers, and they were only $15 a piece. And I thought about it, But this little guy was sitting at the bottom. The Nintendo GameCube Wavebird dongle. Plugged it in, tested it, works great. I said, how much do you want for this thing? He goes, I don't know. What do you want to pay for it? I'm like, I give you $5 for it. He's like, that's what I was thinking. So I gave him a $5 for the dongle. Now, here's the thing with this, though. I already have a Wavebird, so I don't really need this. I started looking at buying a spare controller, you know, a spare Wavebird. So I would have two, because I've got the gray one, and I thought, I get a platinum one. I don't know if I'm into that anymore. So I'll have this, and I'll tell you what. These things go for like $50. If somebody wants this in the trade show, let me know. Just say, save that Wavebird receiver, and I'll put it in the trade show bin. But otherwise, if no one says anything, I think I'm just gonna flip this on eBay. So, you know. Tyler and I went out today. It was a good day. I didn't really find a lot. He found a lot of good stuff. But we were at, not Flea Market on Main, Buckeye Games. And one of the booths, they had this World of Outlaw sprint cars on Xbox 360 for $3, which is a steal of a deal. Disc and the manual, but the cover art is absolutely thrashed, and I'm just going to throw it away. So I'm going to throw that away right now. So basically the disc and the manual, but I knew over at Maxine's Bargain Box that they had the case and manual in the back room there. So I asked Dave if I could go back there and take a look. He was like, yeah, he didn't charge me for this, so I'll take him another case. Like, I think I have Left 4 Dead. I'll take him a Left 4 Dead case to replace this. And then this is a better condition manual. So what we're left with here is, that will have to be resurfaced. But what we're left with all the shuffling going on, is we will have a complete copy of World of Outlaw Sprint Cars, and then we will have an extra manual, which I'll probably just take back to Maxine's, because they have a copy on their shelf that's missing the manual. It's funny, I know their inventory better than they do, but I really do love those. And every time, I love that store so much, and Dave's such a nice guy. Everybody that works there is really nice, so they're just like, yeah, if you need it, just take it. And then I always take them something in return, like, you know, Wii Sports is a good one, because you could sell Wii Sports just the disc for like $25, and by having that little cardboard case, that really doesn't add that much value to it. So I'll just take those to Maxine's. I'll just give, like, I've got one in my bin. So, but anyway, I felt compelled to buy something. So I picked this up. This has actually been on my PS4 shortlist for a while. It's one of those games where it's like, yeah, I can get it, but when am I going to play it? You know what I mean? It's called Indivisible. Now, what's interesting about this game is it's got this really slick animation style. You can see it right there. Nice set piece graphics in the back. Beautiful, almost cel-shaded style, or maybe like a Japanese animated style thing. But what's really interesting about this game is that it's like part platformer and then part turn-based RPG. So it's like a cross-genre game that I don't think a lot of people talk about, and it looks really, really cool, and I can't wait to get into this game. I've got a lot of PS4 games on my backlog, and I just added one today, and I got it for, you can probably see that, $10. But it looks like you can tell they've been dropping the price on it. So, yeah, Indivisible for $10. And then the guys at work, you know, they all know I like video game stuff. So, just want to make sure the code isn't showing. So, one of the guys brought this in and said, hey, man, do you want this? We're just going to get rid of it. We're just going to donate it to Goodwill. And I'm like, oh, thank God. It is a copy of Pokemon ZA Legends. I hope I said that right. Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Now, I don't like Pokemon. In fact, I hate Pokemon. I think it's dumb. I also do not have a Nintendo Switch 2. But what I'll do is I will throw this in the trade bin. And if anybody has a Switch 2 and you want this game, we can trade for it. If not, I'll throw it up on my eBay store. So right now, I think that's all that we have. Yeah, just a lot of clothes and what I just showed you. So, whew, get ready for round 2. We'll see what next week brings. All right, it is next week. Hit a garage sale. For whatever reason, she had this Lupin Louis for 50 cents. I was like, yeah, for sure. I was like, is it complete? Do you know? And she was like, oh, my mom put it away last time we played it years and years and years ago. So for 50 cents, I'm going to take a chance and you can part it out, you know, if it's not complete. Kudos to mom. Mom put everything in their individual bags, took the C battery, who uses C batteries anymore, the C battery out of the mechanism. So yeah, it's all complete and basically made famous by the Angry Video Game Nerd, Board James or whatever. But Louis flies around and you have to use these paddles to keep hitting the airplane up so it doesn't knock off your targets. And if you lose all your target tokens, then you lose. But yeah, thanks, Mom, for taking good care of this Loop and Louie game that I will play probably 2 or 3 times and then resell it. Listen, it was a crazy day. I was out. We went to the YMCA Rummage sale this morning. More on that in a little bit. But listen, man, players mess up. I'm running around hitting yard sale, yard sale, yard sale, thrift store. I'm going to stop. It's right there. At St. Vincent de Paul this week, it was 99-cent day for one tag, 50% for another tag, 25% for green tags. So I'm trying to keep it going. I wasn't trying to stand there and look up games and do comps. Guitar Hero 2 for the PlayStation 2 complete, it was $3, but it was 25% off. So I'm like, okay, it's $2.25. It's probably a $10 game because there was that Guitar and Guitar Hero 2 bundle. You guys remember that? Probably not. So I'm like, this is probably a good deal for $2.25. It's not. It's, you know, $5 or $6 game. So like I said, it is complete, which is nice. So I don't know. Figure out what we're going to do with that. And then I always think that these horse racing games are more valuable than they are. I was like, in my head, I'm like, this is a $25 game. It was $7 minus 25%, so minus $1.75, so $6.25-ish. Again, complete, not bad condition, but it's really only like maybe a $15, maybe $13, $15. Maybe that's what you could squeeze out of this. But I guess if you were buying those for your personal collection, it would be okay. Just not the deal of the century for me. So the YMCA Rummage sale, this is sort of, it's May 1st. It's the first weekend in May is when this thing is. And it's like an event. I plan my entire garage sale, my life around this thing because there's so much good stuff. Now, the gimmick is you go in there and you got like a bag or a box, whatever. You fill it with whatever you want. And then on your way out, you just make a donation. And then it goes to whatever charities they're supporting. So when you have an event like that, it lends itself to resellers and people that will take advantage of that system. The first year I went, I filled up this canvas bag full of stuff and I donated like $50. And she asked me if I wanted to change back. And I'm like, well, no, I think I got like $50 worth of stuff. If I went to garage sales and paid the cheapest price possible, I feel like I got a good deal, right? And then I got to the car and it kind of hit me. I'm like, there are probably people that filled up bags twice as big as I did and was like, oh yeah, here's $10. But let me set the scene for you. You walk in, it's like a gymnasium. We all know what a high school gymnasium looks like. Along the left-hand side, it's like shoes, home decor, dishware, primitives, electronics and media. Then on the back wall, you've got baby clothes, decorations, like holiday decorations. There's usually a lot of that stuff. And then down the right-hand side, you've got like plush, toys, sporting goods, and kind of like maybe some miscellaneous stuff. And then in the middle, there are just tables, big round tables. Now, I'm 6 foot tall, and the clothes come up to about here. So this is about, what, like 5'8" or something. So there's just clothes. It's like baby clothes, maybe there's a couple tables of that. Little boys' clothes, little girls' clothes, women's clothing, and men's clothing. And you just dig through it and throw stuff into this bag, right? So I always go to where the toys are first because everybody makes a mad dash to the glassware, the media section, electronics, shoes. That's one thing I don't really sell on eBay is shoes, but there's a lot of money to be made in it. I go to the plushie thing. There's like 4 boxes of plushies. There was like a pillow pet and a Harry Potter Squishmallow, and then this like 18-inch tall Princess Peach figure or plush, and it's a weird likeness of Princess Peach. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Anyway, so, you know, threw this in my bag. I figured I'd sell it or keep it and put it in the background somewhere. But yeah, if I sell this, I would like fold it and then put a clear poly bag around it and then box it. I wouldn't send that in like a bubble mailer. But we did find one video game after about 15-20 minutes. When the media section cleared, I always go over there and grab, CDs or DVDs and lot them up. I found 2 U2 CDs, so I just lotted them up for like $5 on my eBay store. So yeah, but this is why you always check empty DVD. This is like game hunting 101. An empty DVD case, you always check it, especially when it said play it, trade it on it. Opened it up. Bomberman Jetters with the manual. This disc is a little rough, needs to be resurfaced, so I'll take it and get it resurfaced. But either way, even if this disc doesn't work, you still have the manual and an authentic GameCube case. So I picked up a lot of clothes. If it was Under Armour, Adidas, vintage labels of whatever kind, I just throw it in my thing. So I ended up donating $30 this year, which is a little bit less than I normally donate, but my cost per good was 77 cents. So, 75 cents for this, 75 cents for that, 75 cents for the Nike shirt, which I think is a reasonable. If you were at a garage sale and you bought in bulk and you got all that stuff for 75 cents an item, I think that's reasonable. But yeah, I can totally see somebody filling up a huge bag of that stuff. And in fact, 2 years ago, I don't know who he was, but he basically just loaded up his bag with all the DVDs and all the CDs. Like he just like dumped it in his bag. He didn't even bother like let anybody else have a turn or whatever. But I think he probably donated like $20 and took 2 big canvas like IKEA bags. Maybe that was a reseller, but yeah, I love that event. It's sort of like the yard sale kickoff for us. So hopefully yard sales will be in full effect. I spent the majority of the morning taking photos and listing and cleaning items. So I did a lot of work on my eBay store. If you want to check it out, I will leave a link to my eBay store down below. Again, don't feel obligated to buy anything, but if you follow, that makes me feel good. So check that out. Also, before we go, shout out to Emceemur. Emceemur gave me a shout out, so I'm giving Emceemur a shout out back. I'll leave a link to that video down below, so you can check out Emceemur. I've known Andy a long time. He's a great guy. His videos are always awesome. So definitely check it out. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comment section down below how your garage sale season is going. Mine is just kicking off, and I'm very, very excited. So like, comment, subscribe, share on social media. Don't forget to smash that notification button so you can stay up to date on all of your CM retro gaming goodness. Guys, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you, pew pew, on the next one.